Welcome back. So this short video will just help us get started on this practice assignment. Before we attempt to do anything here, I just want to say the point of this exercise is experimenting and looking things up. And it's really not about getting the answer. It's about, going to the 14 sections and trying to find something that can help us solve the problem. So I'm not really interested in the solution per se. I'm more interested that you're trying to look things up. So the first step is to get a code editor. I typed into Python online editor and I did a search. You can pick any one you want. I'm picking this one right here. RPL.IT, because that is a nice editor to work with. So let's give it a minute to load up. Okay, there it is. So the first thing we have to do here is, well, let me show you what we have. We have a place where we can type our code. This is the code editor. We can also save files. Okay, create and save files there. So I'm going to minimize this section, and maybe I'm going to minimize the section with the results because we really don't need that. So let's take a look at this this experiment here. So we want to have a calculator that lets us add up the cost of 4 shopping items, calculates the tax, and gives us the total with the tax, and also gives us back the list of items, and finally the cost. So I really don't want to do this. I think it's going to ruin it for you. I want you to struggle with it, and if you don't completely get it, that's okay. The point is that you try to do it. So let's go ahead and start. So the obvious thing to do here is to create variables for the 4 items and the prices. Now there are other data structures that we can use, like arrays and lists, but we're not going to use those right now. We're just simply going to create 8 variables, 4 for the price and 4 for the name of the item. So we'll type in here item 1. First item just could be anything that you're shopping for, could be bread. Item 2 is maybe meat. All right, and item 3 and 4. Now, what about the prices? Let's enter prices here. So the price of the bread, well, let's enter a price here, and that's going to be a number. So let's say $3.25. This is a float or a floating number. And the price for the meat, oops, I didn't write that correctly. The price 1. Price 1 is for item 1. Price 2 is for item 2. So the price of the meat, let's say that's $6.70. And we want the price 3 and price 4 for the remaining items on the list. They could be anything at all, milk, apples, whatever you choose. Then we need to add up the price. Okay, so let's say price before total. You see what I did there? I just invented a variable, okay, and I'm going to add it up here. So that's going to be price 1. And if you notice here, as I'm typing, the code editor is making a guess about what I want. So I can just click on the item, or better, I can use the arrow key, select the right item. So in this case, I want price 2, and then hit tab. Okay, so that's a nice way to speed up the entering the prices. But what I did here, I think I did a small mistake. I need to initialize this variable first. So price before total. Okay, I'm going to give it a starting price. Now, if I say it's 0, then this variable is going to be an integer. It's not an integer, it's a floating point or a decimal number. So I'm going to make it 0.0. Okay, so that's how we would add up the price, the total price before tax. I wrote before total. I should write before tax. Let me correct that. Okay, and now we want the price after tax. So price after tax. Okay, so the price after tax equals, well, the price before tax, and there it is in our list. So we're going to select that. And I think it's we have 15% tax here in Quebec, so we're going to do 1.15 and so on. At any point, as you're experimenting, you can just print out the result. So let's print out the result of the price after tax, okay, and see what we get. So the run button is right there. All right, so we're going to have 325 plus 670. And 15% tax, and we'll see some result over here on the right side, and there is the total, $11.44. So I don't want to ruin this. I want you to actually go into the different sections and try to figure it out. It's not an assignment in the usual sense. It is just practice, and the key here is to experiment, to struggle a little bit, and to look things up.